All right, cool. Hey, another episode of That's All Funny. I want to thank everyone for being here. Today's my guest is band for the IDKs. Greg Judd. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hi, Lorenzo. Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, really good at the moment. It's a bit late where I am right now, but you know, it's all part of the grind. All part of the grind to get the music out there. How things with you? You good?
Yeah, no, looking forward to all this talking with you and stuff. Yeah, I figured the time zone change because you're across the
Yeah.
pond, so it is a little bit late for you, and here I'm in the afternoon. Still tired though, probably just as tired. You probably have more energy than me.
Oh, it's been insane. Yeah, I've been so this evening, literally finished work, got back, ironing t-shirts, getting ready for to sell at the gig tomorrow. Then straight to band practice. Was there for 2-3 hours practicing. And then yeah, just got back home and jumped on with you. So it's a full day, very busy, but so is the life of wanting to be a rock star. So
Oh
we're on
yeah.
path. We're on path.
No, that's great. No, it sounds like you're fulfilling. It sounds fulfilling, the way you're
Yeah,
fulfilling
definitely.
everything.
Yeah, love it.
So you're part of this band, right? The IDKs. Are you
Correct.
self-taught or are you trained? How did you get into playing music? Uh, yeah.
So it's actually it's quite a weird story. So for me, like I can remember the first time I don't even know if it was sound like Harry Potter now. I don't even remember if it was a real memory or not. But I just remember when I was really young, just seeing like an acoustic guitar in my living room. And I don't know whose it was or whatever. But that image just like imprinted in my mind. And yeah, ever since a young age, I've wanted to learn. I had lessons when I was really young, but it was just too expensive. My mum and dad couldn't keep going, and I just weren't learning enough. I started trying to learn again when I was about 18. Didn't go to got a teacher. He was incredible, by the way. Like he played with Adele. The
Oh
teacher,
wow.
yeah, he was honestly as a guitarist, he was incredible. But I started playing football with my friends again, so I stopped that, and then I got to about mid 20s, and yeah, I just started teaching myself. I took lessons again, but that teacher wasn't the best, and I just realized like I was learning more on YouTube than I was from my lessons. So I just sort of just yeah went for it there. Just kept learning. Started playing all the songs that I loved, and yeah, and then started to learn and yeah, and that's just sort of how I taught myself, just from learning the songs that I love, really.
No, that's cool, and I imagine like I don't know if you grew up around the same time I did. I'm around 36 years old, 37, so I
Mm,
grew up in the 90s where
yeah,
yeah, YouTube wasn't really there. You had to get magazines for
mm.
tabs. Like you just said, lessons were very expensive because
Oh
uh,
yeah.
it was hard. It's not remote like it is now. You can't do everything online. You had to find someone who kind of was specialized at that, and that was
Yeah.
just tough. But I can't imagine you growing up over there, it being, I don't know, about the same but still different because
Mm.
it's a culture shock.
Yeah, completely. I mean, yeah, like all of the artists, yeah, I grew up in the 90s as well, and like all the artists that I love were all self-taught. Same thing as me. Like I don't really know the chords I'm playing, anything like that. I just sort of play, and it sounds good. So can't play by ear, not classically taught, but yeah, I guess it's a bit different out here. There is definitely a culture for music, and there is definitely ways that you can learn. But yeah, that's just one of the things that I've noticed, that for certain kids and stuff like that growing up, there's not that much access to music. Instruments are expensive.
Hmm.
Like just even being in a band is so costly. Like if you're in it for the money, don't bother, because unless you're really lucky, or like some lucky musicians, their dads own record labels, then yeah, it's a tough one. But yeah, it is a bit different culturally here. But yeah, there is definitely music scenes, and there's definitely things like that.
In this band you're in, the IDKs, I'm not sure how many bands you were in kind of prior to it or before. Like how long did you take to kind of find the band? Was this the band you were always in from the beginning, or did you kind of jump around and then create into the band that it is today?
So for us, I've always played for the IDKs. I've never played for another band. I don't want to play for another band. I hope I never have to. But yeah, I love it. So basically, me and the drummer Mason, we went to college together, and I just remember this was even before I could play guitar. I remember I went back to his place one time, and we walked to his. We were getting ready before he was going on a night out, and he went into his spare room for some reason. There was just a drum kit all there set up, and I'm like, "What? That's incredible! Like someone in your house play drums." He's like, "Yeah, me." I'm like, "What?" So he's like, "Just play me a song." I'm not going to repeat what song it is because it's so cringe now thinking about it. But he starts playing. It's absolutely incredible. And from that day, I was just like, "If I start a band, you're in it." So flash forward like a couple of years, probably about 4 or 5 years. I learned to play guitar. I was absolutely dreadful. I was like, right, I want to start a band to just keep getting better, keep improving. So messaged him. He was down. Me and him started the band. It wasn't called the IDKs at that point. We got two guys in. Mason's incredible as a drummer. I was so bad. Them two people just left. I was like, no, we're not doing this. Then our bass player Jules, he joined. He's still here. Why he stayed, I'll never know because his ear and like how he is like how he brings the music together is just incredible. What he does, and then we've gone through. We've probably had more guitarists than Taylor Swift has had boyfriends, but eventually we got there, and we've now got a guy called Mitch who's really good. His knowledge is incredible. He also plays piano.
Mm.
So yeah, it's good. So like we our first gig that we had was at a place called New Cross Inn, and yeah, we they said, "Oh, have you got a band name?" And at this point, we didn't have a band name, so it was like, "What do we call ourselves?" I don't know. All right, IDKs. Let's just chuck it down for now. We'll see how it goes, and then we're doing so well at the moment that we just can't change it because we don't want to start remarketing all over again.
Mhm.
So yeah, the IDKs.
No, that's great. And we were talking about earlier about the culture and stuff like that. And I know it's, but especially musically,
Mm,
I know we get a lot. Like me growing up, I listened to a lot of because of my sister, hand me down girly pop, like Ace of Base, like
fair.
fucking Aqua, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I know. Great.
Spice
Yeah,
Girls, like
yeah, fair, fair.
I heard a lot of that, so that shaped, at least to me, what music I like now as an adult. Do you
Fair.
want to say like growing up was the music you listened to? Did any of that shape or inspire you to
Oh,
the type of music you play now, which is kind of like a rock, maybe punk type sound
mm.
to it? How would you
Yeah,
describe it?
no, definitely. I think like we're edging on punk. But yeah, we're mainly I'd say we're an indie rock band that touch on sort of alternative. And then sometimes I think because Mason is very much a punk drummer, like the way he plays and the bands that he's influenced by. So I think we have very definitely like sort of influential punk drum in there, and the music, the covers we do and stuff like that are American. I know they hate calling it, but it's pop punk. But I would hate that as well, to be fair. But yeah, growing up, the music I listened to was just so diverse and so varied. So my dad was very much into Paul Weller. So like sort of Paul Weller, the Jam, the Style Council. He was like a mod growing up, which was like a massive cultural movement in Britain in like I want to say the 60s and the 70s. I could be so off there, but it was around that
Mm.
time. And he was like into that sort of music. Who else did he like? Spandau Ballet. Who was it who sung Girls on Film? Duran Duran, and yeah, there was tons of other stuff. So I was listening to that. My mum was a singer. She was in a band, and
Oh,
but in a band, it was like a girl. It was a girl band in the same way that the Spice Girls are a girl band. They didn't
uh-huh.
really do anything. They made a single. They sung a couple of times at Ministry of Sound, but it was nothing. It was just like a sort of just a little like hobby sort of thing that she did, but she really enjoyed it. But mostly her that I think influenced my older brother a lot. She was really into like R&B. One artist I absolutely love, Macy Gray. I'm telling you now, that woman is incredible. What an incredible voice. That was definitely influenced by my mum and the music I loved growing up. But yeah, I think it's actually quite weird because I didn't really get a music taste that much from my parents.
Mm.
Growing up, like most of my friends and even myself, like I was driven to more towards like indie, and there was like a whole like landslide indie movement. And when I was a teenager, there was so many indie bands. So you had like the Kooks, the Arctic Monkeys, you had a band that no one knows called One Night Only that were absolutely incredible, great
Mm,
band. Unknown bands like Go Audio. Who else? There's so the thing is, I'm going to be missing so many. I remember Scouting for Girls were quite popular at the time, but I think they were a bit more pop. But I like them. Who else did we have? Uh, Kasabian. Yeah, I mean Oasis was already big at that point, but they're just a massive influence to me. Like their music and their sound and the way they are is just huge for me. So that I think that impacted me the most. The first time when I started getting into them is just when music was just incredible for me.
and
Yeah.
that sort of shaped your sound, like what
Mm.
you're going for right now with the IDKs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, I mean, it's actually quite weird because throughout the band and the different music we listen to is incredible, which I think is good because it doesn't narrow down our sound to anything.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
like to class us more as universal rock as a whole, and once our discography gets bigger, people will start to understand that and notice that. Um, but yeah, for me, Oasis, Noel Gallagher, Liam Gallagher, like are a massive influence on me and how I've formed, how I've learned guitar, how I learned to songwrite, and yeah, just a huge fan of them and love what they do.
No, and right now we're gonna take a quick listen to your I think single off of Something About You EP, Never Listen. Just a
Yeah,
quick
absolutely.
clip of it. We're gonna play right now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. No, it
Thank
definitely
you.
got this like uh hard rock but then soft rock sound to it, really melding there. So you've recorded this, you perform it live and everything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You've hit the nail on the head there with like the soft with the hard and stuff like that. Is we really like to layer our songs and we like to build momentum and we feel like it's more impactful and it gives the listener and people at the gigs like a proper oomph. We want to create and invoke emotion in that person. So I think the slower and the softer and the big impacts. I think that's really good. Yeah, we recorded that at our we record most of it at home doing our separate bits, and then the vocals we record in our practice studio. We have like a sort of makeshift booth that we sort of create with like all soundproofing and things like that,
Hmm.
and it's very low tech, but yeah, no, it's a great track that was written by our bass player Jules. He sings the verse, I sing the choruses, and yeah, I think just it melds well. And at the moment, I mean, the numbers are showing. I mean, you won't be able to see it at the moment because they're just under a thousand streams. But on our Spotify for artists, this track is currently taking off. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully a very big one very soon.
No, that's amazing. And how does that feel like to find like a audience for your music, like thinking about like back in the day where you needed like a record label or millions of dollars to do stuff like that, and here you are, makeshift studio in your house, putting it on Spotify. How does that feel like
Mm.
finding the audience?
It's for me, it's such a mixed feeling as well because I mean, on the one hand, like you're saying, it is incredible the fact that I can sit there in a little. I mean, it's not a dingy practice room. It's actually all right in there, but the makeshift of it and the way that we have to do it is very like it's very. I'll tape this up, stick this in, nail this in, sort of thing. DIY makeshift. Yeah, it's crazy to think that you can put something together like that and then it will go on and just thousands and thousands of people are going to be listening to this and like streaming it. And this is going across all continents. It's not just the UK, it's America, it's like all across Europe. And yeah, just to think these people are listening to this on repeat is just absolutely crazy. It's amazing. I mean, on the other hand, you've got the whole thing, like you're saying, with record labels, you've got the hard side of being a you know, a needle in a haystack
Mhm.
with the whole industry and the way it works at the moment. But I think we're quite lucky in that we work hard, we put ourselves out there. We're a bit different, and yeah, I think we will definitely stand out, and we are going to be one of the bigger bands in years to come.
You know, when I ask, it's a hot topic with AI and stuff like that, and I don't know how you feel about that, but
Mm.
you know, how do you think about like you're here, you're putting in the work, you know, your makeshift studio, you know, practicing hours a day, and you have like AI tools that you could generate a song just
Mm.
from typing in a prompt. You know, do you does that make you feel less motivated or actually more motivated in, you know, creating music?
Maybe this is the the egotistical side of me coming out right now, but genuinely, I feel like it has absolutely no reflection or no impact on me as an artist. The main reason, yeah, I get it. You know, they can come out, they can be pitch perfect, they can come out, they can just be releasing releasing tracks constantly, and like it's good for their algorithm, etc., like that. But what are you going to do when you want to turn up for a gig? What are you going to do when you want to sell out, you know, a live venue and things like that? You can keep playing AI music, you can keep doing that, but um, eventually it gets to a point where with AI you can only make so much. There's with streams on Spotify, you're not making anything. You know, it's like 0.00000 p a stream. You know, so for me it just has no bearing on me because I know that music, like I said, like music is there to invoke a reaction. It's there to make
Mhm.
people feel something. It's there, you know, when I'm at a gig watching Liam Gallagher standing up there, looking up, singing Wonderwall, and I'm arm in arm with a guy I've never met in my life, and I love him and he loves me, and we're all there with each other, looking at the guy that we all love. AI can't do that. There's
Mhm.
like for me there is no worry. I understand for some artists, it's like maybe DJs and stuff like that, but even again they can still perform live. So yeah, I don't think artists have got much to worry about. People want real artists, they want real emotion, they want relatability, and you can't relate to AI like you can another human being.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I always see them. You know, they're never going to be replacements. Yeah,
Mm,
we could utilize the tools, of
yeah,
course. You know, perhaps if you need it to help you make things more efficient with
yeah,
your makeshift studio and all that. You know, but I don't see it ever, like you said, replacing the heart and the soul that is the singer and the songwriter.
completely agree.
And so your goals with the band, the IDKs, what are your goals? Are you manifesting what are you manifesting that the band put out into the world and the world put back into you, you know?
Um,
What is it?
like I said, I'm so egotistical. Like it probably comes across a little bit arrogant, but I know we're going to be the best band in the UK. There's no doubt about it. It's just we know the music's there. Every gig we play, like, I mean, I get that people aren't going to come up to you and say, "Oh, you're terrible," blah blah blah, but um, it's just people are always coming up to us saying like how good the set is. Like, I've had friends turn up to gigs and be shocked because they thought, "Oh, it's just your mate's shitty little band that you're." Oh, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna yeah, yeah. So
No
yeah,
worries.
just wanted to make sure, it's your pod and that. But yeah, yeah. So like your friends turn up and they think, oh, it's just my mate's shitty little band. I'll turn up, listen to him, and just see how he goes, that sort of thing. And then my mates are shocked because they'll be there and be like, mate, you're actually the first thing they'll say to me is, oh, you're actually good. And I'm like, yeah, I know we are. So I'm of the belief that we are way better live than we are on the recordings. The recordings are pretty decent, but live we're just insane. We've had people in recording studios come in and just be like, oh, just congratulating us on how we sound. And I mean, it doesn't do anything for my ego, but you can just see my head growing and growing. But yeah, like it's not even like I know we're going to be big. Like we've got the music, we've got the songs, we've got the people around us, and we are greater than the sum of our parts. Like I've said this many times before. If I applied for my band, I would not get in it. I'm not a good enough guitarist. I can song. My songwriting's pretty decent. I'd say I'm a very good songwriter, but guitar wise, if I turned up and tried out, they'd be like, absolutely no way, guys. Like you can't do it. But when we come together and like make that sound and like create the songs and we put it together, it's just way better than what any of us can do individually. And yeah, we're coming for it all basically. We know we're a good band. We are probably the best band in the UK, and we're willing to prove it and put our, put our money where your mouth is. We're gonna do it basically. It's happening. It's happening.
No, it's such a, I don't know. It's a weird feeling to hear someone so confident.
Mm,
It's almost it's you're saying egotistical, but it makes me feel like good. Okay, no, he's because yeah, like you said, anyone can kind of record a song and be like, oh, okay, this is good, yeah, and then play it live. You're like, holy shit, that was actually
yeah,
really good. Y'all are great. You know what I mean? It's all about presence, and it sounds like you're bringing it.
yeah, absolutely. I think number one, just to be successful, you've got to believe in yourself. And the thing is, like I said, some people look at it as arrogance, but for me, it's like I listen to our music and I listen to what we do, and I think I genuinely think we're good. I genuinely think we're one of the best bands in the UK, easily, and I genuinely think that the only difference between us and the top is marketing and money. That's literally it. If we get the right investors, we get the right management, and we get the right record labels, we'll genuinely be flying. And if you don't believe in yourself and you don't think that you can do it, then yeah, I just can't imagine you getting that far.
Absolutely. Yeah, without that sort of confidence, you're not getting anywhere.
Mm,
Absolutely. Um, I'll say here, what advice would you give to to either your younger self or to like any bands that want to get like as feel that confidence or get as successful? What advice would you give to them
mm.
or to your younger self?
Well, to my younger self, I would have said start learning guitar earlier. You'd be so much further ahead if you'd have just done it. Um, to any other younger people out there, first thing, if you're getting into music for the money, I mean, it is possible, but you're going to be working a lot and you're going to be losing a lot of money before you even get there. Um, basically, it can be done on a very low budget, and you can be successful on a low budget, but you're gonna need to graft, you're gonna need to collaborate, you're gonna need to speak to people, you're gonna need to help people, you're gonna meet because they're gonna need to help you, and you got to be good at what you do, because if you're not good in the beginning, like even when you look at like people talking about release strategies and stuff like that, your music needs to sound good, your music needs to be good. um but the issue with that is everyone thinks their music sounds good. So, it's a bit of a
Mhm.
weird one, that. But yeah, just honestly, if you're not passionate and you're not willing to work hard, genuinely don't bother, because I mean, they're the main two things you need for this right now. Back in the day, or let's say even like 10, 20 years ago, you might have been able to play a couple of band nights and, if you're good enough, get picked up by a label or something like that. Now, unless you've got, 100,000, well, millions of streams, and however many followers on socials, people ain't
Mhm.
going to bother. So you've got to work hard. You've got to be willing to be ignored. You've got to be willing to, every time you hit a brick wall, keep going, and basically just keep going, keep going, keep going. And no matter what anyone says about you, no matter what anyone thinks, no matter what your friends think, no matter what your family says or anything, keep going, keep going, keep going. And even when you're ready to give up, keep going, keep going, keep going. If you've got that in you and you can genuinely do that, then you'll make it. If not, then yeah, there's just no point. There's no chance. And yeah, so yeah, just work hard, believe in yourself, and keep going. It is definitely possible, but yeah, get the effort going, and you're good.
No, that's yeah, good words to live by. And what I love about the sound of your music is it sounds like you're playing the music that you would want to hear.
Yeah,
There are probably like other, artists that make the music just to fit the algorithm or fit what's popular, but it sounds like and I know it is because you just told me that,
yeah,
you're making the music you love and you'd want to hear, and it shows in your performances, and that's what
mm,
really is gonna like affect people when they do listen to you. Is that
mm,
you love what you're doing, you love what you're creating, and that's I don't know, it's amazing to me. I think it's hard
mm,
to see nowadays, what
yeah,
with the world living on what they think is popular, what's trending. You know, it's no, you're the IDKs making music that you want to listen to, that you would want to play, and I think that's absolutely wonderful.
No, thank you so much for saying that, Lorenzo. That means a lot. But yeah, completely agree. I think I mean, it's even back in like '90s when there was grunge with Nirvana, everyone would jump on their coattails. Same with Britpop. It happened here at like a similar time. People jumping on coattails. It's the same again with trends. People jump on coattails, but the real people that go out and become the mavericks are the ones that stand out from the crowd, want to be different, do what they love, and they want to be different. They don't want to be like everyone else. Like for instance, you look at what was it they said? Like you got Coca Cola, right, which is one of the best sold drinks in the world, right? And you'd
Hmm.
think if you was to make your own brand of drink, you think, oh, I'll make Coca Cola, I'll make it taste nicer, and make it, taste okay. The second best selling drink was someone like, oh, I'll make a smaller can and make it taste like shit, and it's Red Bull. You know what I mean? It's like it's so different, and it's just so it's just so vastly different that people and that people love it because people don't want the same as what they've already got. And like at the moment, like I see so much country now, and people are pushing country,
Hmm.
country, country. MGK moved over, Beyonce moved over, and it's like, why are you doing this? Like, I get you're giving the people what they want, but Noel Gallagher said it best. He's like, people didn't want Jimi Hendrix, but they fucking got it. People didn't want Oasis and they got it. You know, people didn't want Queen. Who the hell thought, oh, at opera rock, that'll be amazing. I can't wait for that. No one. Queen came along. Honestly, one of the best bands ever. And yeah, like if fashion houses, kept making the same clothes, they'd make no money. So people need to stop doing what they think's trendy and what they think's cool, and start doing what they love and what is passionate. Because, like you said, you hit the nail on the head there. It comes through with your work. So do what you love and keep doing it, and you'll never work a day in your life.
No, and I mean, and y'all are really showing that and really putting it into the ether there, you
Mm.
know. Even though you are working, I know you're working, you know,
Yeah.
and you're making it happen. You know, I got the QR code here where everyone can find your link tree, linktr.e slash the IDKs, where they could find, you know, all your links and stuff like that for your music. I know on Spotify they have something about you, the EP, where you can listen to Never Listen and the other songs on there. Anything else you want to say?
Um, Yeah, so yeah, just basically reiterate what you said. Yeah, Something About You EP is available it is on Spotify and it's on all available platforms. We've got a gig tomorrow, but I assume by the time this has gone out, that's going to be over and done with. We've got a gig on the 4th of October at the old dispensary. So if you want to head down, that'll be on our Spotify events very shortly. So if you want to be
Mm.
able to come down and get tickets, and yeah, we're currently now, because of the way things are taking off, working on our next single called "You're All Right," which is on our set list. There's two songs on our set list, that and Axiom. So we're working on recording them at the moment to get them out on Spotify. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled and yeah, make sure to pre-save that for when that comes out.
Well, I can't wait to hear it, and I can't wait to hear about your continued success and
Thanks.
see your name and be like, oh shit, I know that band.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Like,
it as well. Cheers, Lorenzo. No, that means a lot for your support. Thank you, mate.
yeah, no, and we'll definitely have you on again. You know, whenever you do push up on some anything else, you know,
Yeah.
I'm really appreciate you coming on today. And yeah, everyone just check out the QR code for all the links. Have all the links in the descriptions. And I want to thank you for being on today, Greg. I really appreciate that.
No, thank you as well. Thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun, really enjoyed it, and yeah, it's been great. So thank you so much for taking the time out to spend that with me. So I know you're busy today as well, so I really do appreciate that you've taken the time to have a chat with me. Thank you.
No, likewise, you're just as busy. And yeah, I hope nothing but success. And I want to thank everyone for listening. Y'all check out the IDKs. They're on Spotify. And, you know, thank y'all for listening to today's podcast. And we'll see y'all later. Everyone, take care. Bye.